unrelated. Because everyone's, Twitter's been dying for like the last 2 weeks and it's still here,
Oh, I had a talk about Twitter today where I'm just like, people need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah. Like, I was with everyone. I'm like, okay, well, it seems like everything's going to go away, but it's been like 3 weeks now. And I'm like, okay, where everyone's still here. So I don't know why I went to this co-host thing or whatever the hell it was, right?
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you thought everything was going to go away, did you think Twitter itself or all the people were going to jump ship, or both?
Both.
Okay, I never, I restrained myself.
Yeah.
To me, this was the great Twinkie debacle, years ago, when people were like, oh, Twinkie. Relax. Everything's going to be okay. Twitter's not going anywhere. Everything that people are saying that Elon Musk is burning it to the ground, either intentionally or because he's an idiot, I'm like, none of that is happening. Everybody is spinning things in their own direction. Either one, if you're an Elon Musk fan, everything's fine and it's the most amazing thing ever. And if you don't like Elon Musk, it's like Twitter's gone, it's over. Mastodon or nothing.
Right. So Mastodon is nothing because I couldn't figure out what server to sign up for, right?
Right.
Where I was coming from with Twitter, so it's not like one day I was going to be like, oh, Twitter just disappeared, right? But because of everything that was going on and who may or may not be allowed back in, people were like, well, if these people are coming back in, I'm getting out. And I'm like, well, obviously not the big ones, but these people have been here the whole time. It's just, I have my preferences set up so I don't see it,
Exactly. That's the way I am.
Yeah, if I don't see tweets, unless I'm tagged to them about corny Jim, I'm not going to see tweets about people that are much higher on the scale than he is,
Right.
But then I guess where a lot of people were coming in is, there was the whole debacle about paying the $8 for the verification. And then there's been a whole bunch of little things that were happening. You had comedians and stuff saying oh, we're allowed to do humor again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a friend or two of mine who may have an account where it very clearly says in the account name parody.
Right.
And then they have a tweet that says they put parody in the thing to throw off the cucks.
Oh, Jesus.
But then how I have on my device, I have 5 different accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this person also has that parody account and 4 or 5 other accounts. They tried to switch from one account to the other on their phone, and Twitter just suspended all of their accounts.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So then you had people that were trying to oh shit, things are going, because I had a friend of mine on Friday whose Twitter account got hacked. Now, I'll say this, that's on him for not having 2-factor authentication set up on any of your social media devices. Also, a bunch of people in my sphere saw that, and they're like, oh shit, I better go check to see if I have 2-factor authentication set up. They went to set it up. Twitter then gave them a message that said, you were over capacity for messages to your device today. Your profile has been locked until further notice.
Oh, okay.
So it was stuff like that was happening, that it was not one big sweeping change, but all these little user things that are either not working or not working correctly or going away or whatever it is, that people are eventually this site is going to become unusable. So I better get out while the getting's good. And I said, and my thought process, I'm I better have a backup set up just in case. But the first 2 or 3 days, I'm okay, I better get ready. But now we're coming up on 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And all the people that performatively said I'm leaving Twitter, never coming back, have all come back. I'm here until they shutter the place, right?
Yeah, I'm here till the lights go down. All those people are the equivalent of I'm moving to Canada if so and so is elected.
Right. It's going to be me, you, my friend Chad, and Egon Must. The 4 of us will shutter the place because we'll be the last ones left,
I heard FDC is going down with the ship.
Oh, yeah?
So.
So I was talking about social media there. But yeah, I need my polls. I need my polls for like the Todd and Joe have issues stuff, right?
Yeah, well, we only have a few more weeks of that, and then we don't have to worry about polls, maybe.
Right.
But I don't know if Mastodon or co-host has all that. So, and by the way, I never set up anything.
Yeah.
I was like, if this goes away, Todd goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll have to check to see what Fig Daddy Cool's decision is. I really need his blessing in regards to any of my future fig purchases.
You do that. He might do it by snail mail from now on. I heard.
I might give Fig Daddy Cool my login to the Broski toy group, on Facebook.
Ooh, maybe Fig Daddy Cool will get into that toy group. Who knows?
Okay.
Give him an education.
Shake some sticks over there, So I want to get into, I have 19 things that we could discuss. This could be a 17-hour show, but we have actual business to take care of. Okay.
And I have one thing I want to discuss too when we get to it.
All right. Well, is it involving the Patreon?
No, it is involving Funkos and Walmart.
Okay, go ahead. Get that out of the way first.
Okay. So I ended up ordering that box set of the AC/DC on tour.
Yeah. I saw that picture floating around social media today.
Right. So I ordered it. Yes, as we record this, it went on sale live Monday at 7:00. If you weren't a Walmart Plus person, I read stuff wrong, and Adam was talking to me. I thought because they had a free trial, it was it goes on sale at noon for everybody on Walmart Plus, and I thought if I signed up, I would get a chance to order it at noon. But it wasn't for pre-orders. It was just for other stuff that you get from Walmart Plus. I was like, oh, well, I wasted my free trial. Don't really care. But I ordered it at 7 and I'm like, oh, it's coming Wednesday. Well, it ended up coming the next day, which would be as we record this. So Monday, I ordered it Monday at 7:00. It's on my front porch at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Right? So I'm like, oh, okay. First of all, it says I get the notification both in my text because I had to set up text in my email from Walmart. It's oh, your Funkos are now shipping, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That was fast. It was 7 to 10 in the morning, and it gets if you want to follow the tracking, hit here. So I hit the button to track it. And I thought I was going to get Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, whatever. And it just takes me to a picture of a car, on a Google map, driving from Walmart to my house. It says, we'll be there in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? So now I just take a quick piss at the Cinnabon. And I walk outside because I'm only a few, half a block from my house from where I work. And my phone rings. And it's somebody telling me I'm putting your package on your porch right now. And I look down the road and I'm like, I could see you doing it. I'm walking down the street and the guy's spinning around. And I walk down and I'm like, and I could see him taking the picture that it's on the porch. And he's watching me getting closer and he's like, hey, he has no idea where I'm coming from.
Hey, buddy.
Right, he just gets in the car real quick and drives off. Maybe he thinks I'm going to stab him, whatever. So I walk up, and it's on my front porch. And like I said, I watch the car drive down the street and blah, blah, blah. Then I get an email and a text, and it's here's your package. I'm like, this is the weirdest, best service I've ever gotten, regarding toys being delivered.
Yeah.
So it was really weird. And then the only thing was I didn't like that it came in in a plastic bag. There was no box because it's so big.
I don't like that.
Right. Luckily, I watched him gently place it on my front porch.
You didn't watch him pitch it like a Frisbee from a distance like we've seen happen to other people?
Right. On Ring camera. You know what I mean?
Right.
No. People respect me. What can I say? So
they know Fig Daddy Cool,
right? That he's given me the blessing many, many times.
Right.
So I go and I open it up. It's fine. There's nothing wrong. Maybe a little, like, like little smush in on the cardboard somewhere. I don't care. I'm fine with that. So I'm like, okay, this is a really good thing. Adam ends up getting his. We have our back and forth about which one's better, Metallica or AC/DC. It's AC/DC. And then Josh texts me. He's like, I got mine too, except mine's destroyed, and like my Funkos are all like fell over in the box, like they're not, however, down and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna take it back. And the Metallica one's all sold out too. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Mine came in fine. It's like, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Joe.
So is that for the Meatloaf box set that's coming out, or what's up?
Yeah, I would love a Meatloaf box set.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was really, like, I just wanted to talk about that because I've never had an experience like that with stuff anything being delivered, not just toys, anything,
That's crazy that it was a call, like, you know what I mean? That they're like, we'll be there in 5 minutes, Right. And it was like whoever, like the email said like Stephanie was dropping it off, but then it was like Tony, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, this is Tony dropping off. And I'm like, I don't care who it is, as long as it's fine, Exactly. Well, I'm glad you got your Funko Pop. Definitely not a sickness.
Right. Hey,
hopefully...
I'm the Michael Jordan of AC/DC Funkos. So
there you go. That's right.
That's all I have on that. So
until they start selling the prototypes.
I'll get a box set of them all. Yes.
All right. So let me gangbang all this stuff out. Right quick. Right. The winter has officially begun here in the Northeast.
Yes.
As I saw you and Adam and the whole crew in a soon to be named network, everyone's out night, because it wasn't just boys there.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget if it was you or Adam who made a remark that I was still wearing sandals in November.
Yes.
And I said, well, listen, it's chilly out. I'm wearing long pants and long sleeves. My concession is I'm wearing flip-flops or sandals until there's snow on the ground. There was snow on the ground today, so the flip-flops have been put in the closet until warmer weather arrives,
Right. I guess you're going to stand by that, because I think it's going to warm up a little next week. So
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
You got to have sandal rules, Joe, or else it's chaos.
Nah, they don't take up a lot of space. The boots take up a lot of space. The shoes take up a lot of space. The sandals not so much.
I'm having a sandal purge. So
so also, while I was out and about today getting some mid-Christmas shopping done, I decided I'm going to treat myself. Not that I haven't been treating myself. I'm going to go to McDonald's and get myself a McRib, Todd.
The McRib stopped selling on the 10th.
They still have all the signage at every McDonald's in my area, and you can still order it through the app. And then when you arrive to get your McRib, they tell you, we don't have the McRibs no more.
You and your fast food apps, Joe. You know what happens when I go? I go and ask McDonald's. They go, sorry, sir, what else do you want? And I'm like, 2 McDoubles, please. Thank you. Right,
but it's like I pulled up, and like even the signage, like on the drive-thru thing, it's like, order this delicious McRib with a Dr. Pepper,
Right. And this was the last go-around from the McRib, they said.
Allegedly. It's going to...
No. McDonald's has never lied. Never.
They told me at McDonald's, if everyone really leaves Twitter and Twitter goes away, then the McRib's never coming back.
Oh, okay.
That's what they told me. The lady at the drive-thru counter told me that.
Right. And I bet the ice cream machine was working, too.
I don't get no ice cream from McDonald's.
Right.
They have a different thing that they use for the McFlurries now. I think it's but you need the ice cream to do it. It's just like anyway. And last but not least, before we get into show business, Patreon business, and everything else like that, every once in a while, and I could count on like one hand and still have a bunch of fingers left over to pick the pickles off the McRib that I didn't get today.
Right.
That I'm reminded that I'm not really an adult. And like I fuck up and I let things slip through the cracks, right?
Welcome to my world. But go ahead.
Many years ago, somehow I accidentally signed up for like e-billing before e-billing, like getting electronic notifications for something was a thing, for my electricity. And then the Friday that we were getting ready to leave to go to one of the Philly Wizard Worlds, we get a phone call from the electric company to tell us that we hadn't paid our bill in 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Out of sight, out of mind, you know, and email probably going to the spam folder, whatever, right? So today, we get now bear in mind, today, as we record this, the 15th of November, we get a letter in the mail notifying us that as of October 24th, the sewer company has put a lien against our house.
Ooh, always pay the sewer bill.
Because we haven't paid the sewer bill since January of 2021.
Wow.
Okay. Now,
you haven't shit since January 2021?
Well, again, it's not like the electric company where if you don't pay the bill, they slowly dim the light.
Right, they send it all back up the tube.
Right. With the sewer company, they don't send any notifications to you, and then they just send you a letter that's a month late saying that we have until the 24th of October to take care of a problem on a notice that we just got in the mail today on the 15th. So, like, we go through the mail every day. Now, I will say, maybe something got misplaced. There's been a lot of election materials that have come to the house in the last month. That doesn't explain the last almost 2 years, right?
Right.
And you would think I don't pay it 1 time, 2 times, maybe 3 times. They contact us. When I make a payment, they email me that I made a payment, right? They send us notifications in the mail. Now, typically, our sewer bill is usually like a little tiny postcard.
Yes.
And I could very easily see that getting lost in the mail.
19
and just
times.
Not getting to the house because it's like a flimsy piece of cardboard that's like 2/3 the size of an actual postcard.
Okay.
But the fact that it took them almost 2 years to be like, hey, we better take action on this. And it was one of those things, it's like, we're not destitute, we have money, we're ready to go. And like, as soon as we saw that, we're like, holy shit, we got to pay this like right now. We paid it like right then and there. But it was just like one of those things, it's like, how did we let something like that slip by, you know?
Right.
And I was working, I paid the bill, and April was the one that handled the phone call. And I will say that after however many years we've been together now, I'm glad that some of my evil is rubbing off on her. Because
Right.
she was like, I don't want to say that she was swearing at the guy, but she had like a tone in her voice that is only safe for when she's pissed off at either me or Asa. So
Right. She was pissing hot.
she was another one who was pissing hot. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. So that's everything here that's been going on, unless there's another thing that you have a question about.
No, I just to talk about the sewer bills. Okay, because obviously you're in Luzerne County, right?
Yeah.
I'm in Lackawanna County, so I get my bills from the Lackawanna County Sewer Basin Authority. That's what it's called. Like, is that kind of what they like? Is yours like the Luzerne County Sewer Authority?
Yeah, it's the Luzerne County Sewer Association. Yeah.
Okay, that's now they
Authority,
just said,
Sewer Authority.
right. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So I just was wondering, it's probably the same thing, but just Lackawanna, Luzerne. So you get a postcard like thing. It doesn't come in an envelope.
Nope.
Okay, because mine comes in an envelope and it's like a postcard. You know what I mean? In there. And then they recently changed it over to paper. So I have that. But I was having trouble with mine. And you pay yours 4 times. You're supposed to, if you're not a deadbeat, pay yours 4 times a year?
Correct.
Right. Okay. That's the way mine goes. So I've had trouble with mine, but only in that I would get my bill once every 2, maybe 3 times after the due date that the payment is due. It would be like, okay, but just because of the fact that I have to pay for my father the sewer bills on a couple of the properties and like the Cinnabon and stuff like that, I'll get all the sewer bills in and then it'll be like, oh, there's one missing. Mine is missing. Or The Cinnabons one is missing. But the only thing that's ever happened is Mayan comes late for my residence. And I'll have to go over to the sewer authority proper over on like in Dixon and be like, hey, I never got Mayan. What do we do? And she's like, what's your address? Blah, blah, blah. And then she gives me like a slip of paper. She's like, do you want me to send you a bill? I was like, yeah, send me a bill even though it's late or it's not coming so I can staple this to it, because my one thing my grandfather always taught me, he was like, in Dixon City, it's like, pay the sewer bill. If you have no money, pay the sewer bill, pay the garbage fee. Because we pay a garbage fee. We don't have stickers or anything like that. Because those are the two things that they could put, and the taxes on the house. Those come first because those get liens. They will shut your water off. They will shut your electricity off, but they cannot put a lien against the house as far as I know of. So that's always like my first go-to thing. So that's all my brain just had to get all that out. So.
No problem. And it's just one of those things where like now that it got let go for this long, you know, it's not like it's a big bill or anything. You know what I mean? It's like
$60 for you, right?
I think it's like $50, like we pay online.
Oh, okay.
So we have to pay like $1.25 fee to pay it online.
Okay.
So like quarterly, it's like with the fee, it's $53.25.
See, mine is regardless. It's 60 even.
Yeah. But yeah, so just like now the fact that this happened, like we both, April and I have like notifications in our phone of like, here's when it's due again, you know?
Right. I never do any of that stuff. Even if they're like, oh, like even with my cell phone, they're like $5 off if you want to go paperless. I'm like, no, send me a bill.
Well, no. So that's
well, just either way for me, and I'll pay it electronically, but I want a bill.
So we get bills on everything, even the stuff that I try to sign up for and say, don't send us bills. Like they still send us physical paper bills, whatever. None of them give a discount or anything like that for it. But the gas recently set it up that unless you're mailing a check, you have to set it up as like an automatic payment.
Oh, that sucks. Mine just has it as you could do it as an automatic payment, or they have like they call it like a one-time electronic check. And
right, so that's the thing. It used to be no fee. Excuse me, no fee to do an electronic check. $5 fee to do a debit or credit card. Now it's a fee if it's not on automatic payment.
Right. When did utilities become a business?
Oh, about 3 months ago when they changed it over to automatic thing on the gas.
There you go.
Okay. So real life is out of the way. Let's get into fake life.
Right.
So we are nearing the end, as mentioned, with the social media stuff. We are nearing the end of Todd and Joe Have Issues for this year. Do we pick it up again? Because I know there's been times where we've taken, like, sometimes it's been on, sometimes it's been off. I know you and I have had some ideas of what we wanted to do for it this year.
Right.
I know you were working out some, read, like, stuff to read. Like, it's not going to be a thing where, like, oh, I assign something Todd to read and Todd assigns something different for me to read. It's like, we're going to agree on something, and we, as a group, Todd, myself, and you, the listeners, are all going to read it together.
Right.
So you, if I remember, were leaning toward Sandman.
Right. I was leaning towards Sandman, but then I was wondering in my head, where I wonder most things, if maybe not do that because season 2 of Sandman is definitely coming.
Right.
And if you haven't read Sandman and you want to watch it, do you know what I mean? Like, because they are sticking close to the book. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe, because that'll be a couple years that hopefully we'll get more seasons. So I'm still open to doing it, but I was thinking for any listeners that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I know where Sandman's going. I know how it ends, so I'm not worried about spoilers. The only other one that I was thinking of was Starman, James Robinson, Tony Harris.
Okay, so those are two good. Now, the only one that I was coming up with was Secret Six, the Gail Simone run.
Right, that was the third one that we were banding about.
Okay, so we have like a month and a half Do you want to do a poll of it to the listeners?
We could. Do you want to wait 1 week and because we have time yet? I want to, because I have the map to give to you, like how many issues of Starman there are. Because remember, I told you there's a couple JSA issues, whether we want to use those or not.
Yeah.
I'll send you what I have, and you'll be like, okay, this is too many or too little, or do you just want to put the poll up and devil may care, see what happens?
Put the poll up, devil may care, see what happens.
Okay.
So probably when this goes live for everyone on Friday, we'll put up like a longer poll. It'll be up for like 2 weeks or something, you know.
I don't know how long a poll can, like the super length of it.
It's a week. A week is the longest you could put it up for.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so we'll put it up for Friday or something, and we'll see how it kind of pans out for what we're going to do next year on Todd and Joe Have Issues, right?
Okay.
Unless, and you know what? So, and this is the other thing. I don't want, the Mad Basis had an idea where we're doing like interpretive readings of books or shit like that, right?
Right.
No. I don't want none of that nonsense, okay? When we put the poll up, I'm going to put a fourth option up as other, okay? Reply with something else to suggest to us, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, if we get like a bunch of people saying other, and we get like 6 different choices, then we got run another poll if other wins. You know what I mean?
Right.
But unless
time.
Right, and that's why I'm doing it now, so we have time, right?
Gotcha.
So that's number 1 out of the way. Poll's going to go up on Friday when this goes live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just going to be up on the Twitter, if Twitter still exists, whatever. Or, you know what, if Twitter somehow dies between, like, us recording and Friday, leave a comment on the show post for this episode of After Dark. How about that?
There you go. Look at that. You covering all the bases.
Covering all the bases. Now, Patreon show, movie show. Previewing past is set in stone until 2025, right?
Yes.
We don't have anything to worry about there other than getting some things past December 1992 scanned, but that's... Listen, I don't know if I got to send a dove to Fig Daddy Cool to let him know that things need to be scanned. You know what I mean?
Listen, we definitely have 3 months into 93 done. I just haven't given them to you because usually there's not enough room in the Dropbox because I have the scrawny Dropbox. So that's why you've been getting them on flash drives. Should have gave it to you this weekend, but I didn't. But we definitely have into 93 scanned.
All right, cool. So we got to figure out what we're going to do for the movie podcast for next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we've thrown ideas around and stuff. And this is a list that's been kind of sitting and rolling as things go, because sometimes, like last year, we're like, oh, we're definitely doing the Mark Pirro thing. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right?
Right.
It was just one of those things that came to us. It was perfect, so we're going to do it, okay? We have, like, I had it listed in my notes originally as comic book oddities.
Right.
Like your lesser known or your pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe comic book movies.
Right, like the 70s Captain America movies.
Yeah, like the Man-Thing sci-fi show, stuff like that.
Right, there was a Spirit movie in like the 80s.
Yeah, so I've got on the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 things to choose from. But this is an old list, of course. We're always open to other suggestions. But it's going to be like, some of it's going to be like softball stuff. Like, if we do this, we're going to watch the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, right?
Right. I think if we do that too, we should pick the best of the best.
Yes.
And then occasionally be like, hey, which one do you want us to watch? You know what I mean? But go ahead, sorry.
So that's one of the options. We always have the 2 from 2 years ago, where it's the Rodney Dangerfield movies.
We're still working on that water park video.
Still working on that water park video. And then the Witch Blair Project, where we watch the non-Exorcist films of Linda Blair.
Right. And with always that one, I'm kind of hoping she does like a chiller nearby first. So
right. I keep my Monster Mania actually just recently moved to
Jersey.
No, it would. I'd always been in Jersey, and then just this past weekend, and I think going forward, it's in that convention center place that you guys went to the toy show earlier this summer.
Oh yeah, I know they do have a lot of stuff there. So
yeah. But like Monster Mania had been in the same New Jersey hotel for like the last 20 years, and this is the first time that they branched out. They're like, we need more space, you know?
Right.
So I'll keep my eyes peeled if she pops up at that. You know, that's a much closer drive than like Jersey or whatever. But then I remember we had like on the list of, because again, you have to bear in mind it was 2 years ago, so it was the years of 2000, like it was the films of 1981, right?
Right.
So, because we do previews 30 years ago, we were thinking about doing movies 40 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just as a thought. And I looked at some of the movies in 1983. Now, is it stuff that we've probably seen before? Yeah. But is it stuff that we probably haven't seen in 35 years? Maybe.
Right.
And there's ways that we could work in, like 1983 Easy Money came out, you know?
Whoa.
So we get our Rodney Dangerfield thing in there, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a Messerschmitts in the kitchen.
1983, Superman 3 came out. So you get your superhero movie in there as well, right?
Right.
And that we could pick. Now, granted, there is one that's on the list from 1983 that we already watched.
Okay.
And that's Smokey and the Bandit 3.
Right. But, hey,
I don't mind.
We'll
watch it again. It's been 2 years, right?
I don't mind a second watch. Maybe you'll appreciate it even more, Joe.
Yeah. Now, do you have any other thoughts of like a theme or something for the movie show for 2023?
I just looked up. I'm glad Pieces was 1982.
Don't listen. If 1983 one wins, I got one to make Todd watch.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No,
it is a seminal 1983 film.
Oh, okay. Well, I can only imagine. People are gonna give me the Iggy in my DMs. If they're still there by the time this goes out. I was thinking. I don't know. I don't have any ideas off the top of my head. The only really terrible one I had was I wanted to do the film career of Rob Schneider, and that's it. That's it. I know you wouldn't do that. I was just watching like videos. Go ahead.
Well, let me look at Rob Schneider's IMDb.
Right.
Now, this is starring roles, right? Not him where he pops up as the guy who says you can do it in like every Adam Sandler movie.
Right. That wouldn't count. No. Like he has to be above the title.
Now, I will say this, and I don't know if this is something I should proudly announce into a microphone, but I've probably seen a lot of these already.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at this here, right? Now, do we technically count him as a lead in Surf Ninjas?
I don't know. I've never seen. You know, Surf Ninjas probably better than me.
All right. Okay. Deuce Bigelow, of course. The Animal, of course.
I would even throw in, just because I love it, Down Periscope. Don't care. He's not above the title.
Right. I was going to say, okay, Down Periscope. Sure, that's on the list. Where the hell is, I saw like it's on most noted for, but what the hell year did Down Periscope come out?
96.
There it is. Okay. That doesn't count. But then like we have like the hot chick, you know.
Right.
And then we need to figure out like what other, like I think after the hot chick he's pretty much done as a lead.
Unless it's direct to DVD, maybe.
Now, there is one on the list that I know about called Big Stan.
Right.
If you don't know, don't read up on Big Stan, okay?
Okay, I won't.
But you know what? I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to leave this up to our listenership, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put the filmography of Rob Schneider on the list.
It's so dumb. That's the only reason I came up with it.
Okay.
Oh, Strange Brew was in 1983?
Uh-huh.
DC Cab, The Men with Two Brains.
Oh, Dr. Detroit, King of Comedy, Mr. Mom, the
Yellow
original
Beard.
Vacation, Trading Places. There's tons of good movies in 83.
Joysticks.
Oh, I've actually seen Joysticks.
So have I. They have calluses on their hands from jerking their joysticks.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Private School. The Sting 2. Nobody saw that one.
I was going to say, so nobody will know that one.
There's a lot of good. Let me guess. Is the movie you were going to show me is Can She Bake a Cherry Pie?
Say that again?
Was the movie She Can Bake a Cherry Pie? I don't know. That's just...
No.
And A Polish Vampire Burbank was 83.
Oh, we already watched that.
I know. I'm just like, that's an amazing year. I don't know. Anyway.
So, if we do 83, it would be essentially like you pick 6 and I pick 6.
Right.
And obviously we might cross over on some stuff, so we'd have to have like 1 or 2 alternates, because like we're both going to try for Easy Money. We're both going to try for DC Cab. You know, we're both going to, you know, like I think there's like some definite ones.
Mm-hmm.
But so as it stands, we got the Rodney Dangerfield filmography. We got the Linda Blair filmography. We got the Rob Schneider filmography. We got 1983 year in film and the comic book oddities.
Right.
Now that I'm going to put up as a post on the Patreon. Now you don't need to be a Patreon member to vote on it, but you need to have a Patreon account to vote on it.
Okay.
That's the only thing. So even if you're not a subscriber to our Patreon, it's going to be a free post. You don't, you know, obviously it's to entice you to sign up for the Patreon and, you know, hear us talk about these movies next year and go pick up all the other stuff that we've done over the last however many years of this. But yeah, so the poll for Todd and Joe Have Issues is going to be on Twitter, or the comments for the show notes for that episode over at longboxheroes.com. And then the poll for the 2023 movie show will be on the Patreon.
Sounds good.
Yeah, clear as mud.
I understand it, so hopefully everybody else does.
I was going to say, if you, Mr. Ringtone Maker, could understand what the hell I'm saying, then I think it's easy for everyone. It's going to be like when I put out the previewing the past posts,
right?
Where it's just like a couple of the pages from the previews catalog. Like, it's a free post. You just click on it, and as long as you're logged in, I don't even think you need to be logged into your Patreon account, but I think to like interact with the post, you have to be logged in anyway.
Right, I'm not sure.
Yeah. But that's it. We did a lot today.
A lot of heavy lifting on this show.
That's right. We got it all out of the way.
Yep.
All right. So, everyone, thank you very much. We pushed the Patreon. It'll be in the show notes, our Amazon affiliate link. The holidays are upon us. Make any and all of your holiday purchases through our Amazon affiliate link. TeePublic sale. They don't notify me in advance about the sales anymore, but there's currently a 35% sale going on now until the end of the day on Friday, as you may be listening to this, unless you're a Patreon person at the $5 level and you got this in the correct listening order. Anyway.
Right.
Episode 418, Longbox Heroes After Dark. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.